Smackdown, January 1st, 2021. This is the first show of the new year.
Didn't watch it. Didn't have time.
I'll blow through it because it's only one page. Promo. First new year start. We are greeted by the annoying voice of Michael Cole. Cole says Roman is responsible for the highest rated SmackDown of the previous year. I wrote down, what the fuck? And then I wrote down a very bad political joke about Vince being a Republican. And just numbers being made up to make sense because the ratings suck. And they're blaming COVID and no live crowd and all this stuff. And my wife was actually sitting there and I had this moment of her where I do want to talk about this for a second. WWE and other places are just putting on this, we don't have a live crowd. So you're telling me you would have murdered a man in front of a live crowd and that would have made it better?
Well,
because you would have actually had to have murdered him in front of a live crowd for that to actually work.
So here's what's interesting.
So I told her, I was like, that's bullshit. The problem with it is that, like I said, I love studio wrestling. I think it's great. And I love the stories are just bad.
Vince could have a live crowd.
Yes, he could have a somewhat live crowd.
I mean, right now, the new Thunderdome, which they're in right now, is an outdoor arena. It's a baseball field.
Yes.
He could be doing what AEW's doing.
I mean, it's probably a good idea for a billion-dollar company to maybe not do that, but AEW does it, so it's a little bit weird. I don't know.
Well, see, the thing is, Vince McMahon doesn't believe in coronavirus, and he's never said the word.
No, he hasn't. I mean, there's been a couple snippets on there. I believe we talked previously about some of the things. I have two friends who lost parents, two separate ones. One lost their mom, one lost their dad to complications for this. Take it fucking serious, but at the same time, you can't just hedge. We don't have a live crowd, that's why the ratings are down.
Right.
Your show is not being done very well.
No, it's not.
Your stories are bad. You murdered a man.
Can you tell that sometimes it's written right before the show starts?
Yes, and that's the thing, is that you're hedging your bets against the mind of an out-of-touch madman who rewrites the show 20 minutes before they go on air.
Can you tell he doesn't watch NXT?
He
should.
I don't. No, he shouldn't.
You're right.
Dear God, no. Don't ever let Vince know that he owns another brand.
That's doing well.
That's doing well. That's doing good. And, everybody talks about when Vince dies and Hunter takes over, everything's going to get good. No, I think Hunter's going to toe the line, honestly. But get rid of the writers. If you're not going to utilize them, get rid of them.
Well, there's a lot. We could do a story. We could, maybe one of these days we'll do a show about the writers. And
maybe.
How they actually hire the writers and half the writers don't even know what a wrestling
ring looks like. Did you see what the writer said on the article that came out real quick? I'll plug it. I don't remember the gentleman's name. You can probably Google search this. But essentially the writer said when he was there about 2 or 3 years... No, it was further back. Because I think Beth and all them were writing there. That they were working on something and they had just hired somebody. I forget who the girl's name was. And basically Vince says, nobody would rather watch the women than the men. Don't do anything for the women. And one of the other writers essentially came up to the guy and was like, hey, we just hired such and such. And the guy's like, do not pitch her to Vince. It's like, what? It's like, she got hired as a trainer. Do not pitch her for any storyline for Vince because he will not listen to it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we have the Women's Revolution, we have Steph, we have Triple H, we have some other people who are pushing this. We have great competitors now that have changed that. I honestly think this is the best female division that we've ever seen. But
NXT, yes.
Even you know what? Even some of the people on the Raw are decent. Anyway, moving on. Roman is a badass. KO comes out. Roman says, go away. Tonight...
KO. Yeah.
Yes, Roman says, go away. Roman was fine here, except for he kind of went on. Because essentially, he's like, look, you had your shot. You had 2 shots. You're done. But then he kept going, you're done, man. You're done. Just get out. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody wants to see you, KO. I already beat you. Jay beat you. I've already done. Just get home, man. Just go. And it went on.
Mm-hmm.
Roman, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
If he just would have said, why are you here? I beat you twice.
Go home.
Go home. Whoever's next in line. Yeah. Go home to your kids. And then KO says, fine. You know what? You're right. You beat me. I'm not here for you. I'm here for Jay. I want Jay tonight. Make the match. Match 1, Big E versus King Corbin. Fine match. And then Sami Zayn, who was on commentary, jumps in and beats the crap out of Big E. Remember, Big E took the title off of him last week. Sorry, we did not recap that show. That was about one of the more...
That was the best match of that.
And even then, my wife was like, they're not doing too good, are they? I was like, yeah, they're a little slop right now. All of a sudden, he jumps off the commentary, runs to the ring, beats the shit out of Big E. Then everybody else jumps in, Big E. And then Apollo Crews runs out. He gives chase, commercial break. Now we're back with a tag team match. Big E and Crews versus Zayn and Corbin. I stopped caring. Zayn gets out of the ring and starts yelling at Corbin's guys. Corbin's guy says, we don't take orders from you. We only listen to Corbin. Corbin and the boys get pissed off and leave on Zayn. Zayn gets powerbombed by Crews. Winner, Crews, and Big E. This was a 1.5-star match. It was stupid. I don't know how we got there or why we had to be there to begin with anyway. Backstage. KO and Adam Page. Ken Owens references the fact that he's known Adam Pearce for 15 years. We don't know that. We didn't watch Ring of Honor. We're watching WWE. Talk about knowing him from other places, you know? It's just weird. Like, you're talking to the Smarks at this point. Maybe say, hey, when me and you were traveling in Canada and we wrestled and we did this in the winter, you owe me because of this, you know?
Right.
Give us something, KO. You love to talk. He says, make the match. Pierce basically says, look, I can't give you Jay. This was a great line. He goes, look, you know what's going to happen. I can't give you Jay. Pick anybody else on the roster. And KO goes, all right, give me Roman. And Pierce goes, shit. Like, all right, you got Jay, basically. Great line. Great line. Then they go to Crews and Big E. They basically do a thing where Big E says, I'm the new champion. I'm not going to be like Sami Zayn. I'm going to do what so many others have done. He makes reference to, he says, all the little Amanda and Nolans out there. I fell off the couch laughing. It was so good. You know,
get it.
Because all the little, like, you know, Jane and Johns or whatever like that, he just called out some random kids' names. Amanda and Nolan's.
Wait, no. I believe that's Brody's wife and kids.
Oh. Okay. Either way, he says all the Amandas and Nolans out there, they're cheering me on from a distance. I am going to be a defending champion, and I will take open challenges. And Crews says, great, I accept. And Big E's like, what? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, look, you know, technically you won because I brought Zayn and chased him down and threw him back in the ring for you, so you have the title, so me and you, right? And Big E goes, yeah, sure, me and you, bud. High five. What's out? Done. Good. Great thing. But it was great how just that fast. He's like, I issue an open I accept. Great stuff. Match 2, the Riot Squad versus Billy and Tamina. Again, question mark. Nope, it's actually Natty. So it's Natty and Tamina with Billy as their manager. I think. Billy goes from cheering Natty and Tamina to when the Riot Squad starts winning, she goes to the other side of the ring and starts cheering on the Riot Squad, and the Riot Squad tells her, get the hell back on the other side of the ring. Winner Riot Squad out of fucking nowhere. 1-star match. And the funny thing is even the commentary team is like, Liv Morgan's gotten really good in the last year. And I'm like, yes, she has. Put her and Ruby someplace else. So yeah, this was awful. And this Billy girl is so bad.
Peyton Royce was carrying her.
Yes, Peyton Royce was clearly carrying. We'll talk about Peyton Royce here in a few too, when we get to Raw. Match 3, Banks and the EST versus Bayley and Carmella. They had the thing last week that obviously on the show we didn't talk about, where there was the weird tag team match. So now, because the Raw champions aren't there for the women's division that can be defended on either brand, now they're going to have Banks and Bianca. I wrote down, I don't care, fuck this shit. And honestly, it wasn't a bad match. It was just, I didn't care.
Yep.
I honestly don't care because I don't care. And Bayley was great, and Bayley lost out of nowhere, I think. She was the one who got pinned. It was just, this was not put together very well. Backstage, Roman is sad. Someone doesn't appreciate him. Because the match got mad. So the funny thing is that he's watching the TV. Because you know they love to do this backstage shot of Roman just like watching the TV and just like doing stuff. I hate this backstage shot too, by the way. I hate it. Because there's just TVs just randomly mounted on walls in the back of places for some reason.
Well, it is a sports arena.
So he says, he goes to Jay and he's like, someone doesn't respect me. Why they make the match like that? That's not right. That's not. Go find out who. Apparently Roman, watching a TV, didn't watch the show to figure out who made the match. Promo, Street Profits, New Year's Day Smoketacular. I love these guys. They're in suits and 2021 glasses, and they're going through and they're like, we're going to give predictions for 2021. You get a prediction, and you get a prediction, and you, and you, and you, and you. And Montez is so in the zone for where he's supposed to be. Dawkins pulls off a tarp, and there's a drum set under there. Dawkins can play the drums. I don't know if they've referenced this before, but again, if WWE finds out, good and bad, if they find out you have a talent, you better be expected to perform that talent on every show, so maybe don't let them know that you have a talent outside of wrestling. He's playing the drums, they're making jokes, and they do the same old joke of Ziggler looks like Shawn Michaels, and Ziggler's still in Shawn Michaels' gig, and they show cut tapes of stuff like that, and then out of the middle of nowhere, Bobby Roode runs into the ring, lays out Dawkins from behind, he flips over top the drum set. That always worries me, as we saw in a previous time with the Symphony of Destruction, where Elias had to, or Jeff Hardy had to save Elias's life from impaling his skull into a drum kit.
Yep.
They get laid out. I don't know what's going on with Montez. I don't know if he needs time off or something, or if they're trying, or if he'll be back next week to build this up. But they lay Dawkins out. He gets flipped over top the barricade. They drag Montez over to the corner, and they do the leg smash into the side of the apron.
Right.
And then they smash his leg, and then they hold his leg out, and Bobby Roode grabs the chair and runs across and just baseball bat swings into the corner of Montez's leg against the steps. So I don't know if he got hurt, or I don't know if he maybe needs time off, or if they're just trying to build them up as the fighting injured baby faces, which is fine, and maybe dial Montez back a little bit and let Dawkins be a little bit more of the star, as opposed to having Montez be both the feeder and the star.
Right.
They lay him out. They go backstage. In the middle of this, Sonya Deville is walking around backstage.
Oh, she's back.
Yep. That's how they brought her back.
Sweet.
Literally in the middle of all of this, they came back from commercial and she was walking around backstage. And I was like, okay. And then they go back to this.
She's not on the right program. Mandy Rose is on Raw.
Yeah.
Hey, there's no more written.
Oh God, did I forget to write the rest of the show? Raw, January 4th, 2021.
All right, let's talk about Raw. I'll lead Raw.
Oh, shit. There was 20 minutes left in the show. I had to pause it because there was an emergency at work. I had to go to work to fix something. I came back and I forgot to watch the rest of the show. So I don't know what happened with Jey Uso and Ken Owens.
So the match ended. We'll tell you next week.
Yes, I forgot to watch the rest of it. I had to run to work because I watched it on Sunday. And yeah, there was 23 minutes left in the show.
Welcome to Powerbomb Weekly, where we are extremely prepared for all of our shows and have all our shit together.
Oh, God. Somebody tell us what happened. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. My bad.
So,